ويميت الأحياء ويحيي الموتى وهو حي لا يموت بيده الخير وهو على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وأمينك وصفيك وحبيبك وخيرتك من خلقك وحافظ سرك ومبلغ رسالاتك، أفضل وأحسن وأجمل وأكمل وأزكى وأنمى وأطيب وأطهر وأسنى وأكثر ما صليت وباركت وترحمت وتحننت وسلمت على أحد من عبادك وأنبيائك ورسلك وصفوتك وأهل الكرامة عليك من خلقك. اللهم صل على علي أمير المؤمنين ووصي رسول رب العالمين، عبدك ووليك وأخي رسولك وحجتك على خلقك وآيتك الكبرى والنبأ العظيم. وصل على الصديقة الطاهرة فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين. وصل على سبطي الرحمة وإمامي الهدى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة. وصل على أئمة المسلمين علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي والخلف الهادي المهدي، وجدك على عبادك وأمنائك في بلادك صلاة كثيرة دائمة. اللهم وصل على ولي أمرك القائم المؤمل والعدل المنتظر وحفه بملائكتك المقربين وأيده بروح القدس منك يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعله الداعي إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك، استخلفه في الأرض كما استخلفت الذين من قبله، مكن له دينه الذي ارتضيته له، أبدله من بعد خوفه أمنا يعبدك لا يشرك بك شيئا. اللهم أعزه وأعزز به وانصره وانتصر به وانصره نصرا عزيزا وافتح له فتحا يسيرا واجعل له من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم أظهر به دينك وسنة نبيك حتى لا يستخفي بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز بها الإسلام وأهله وتذل بها النفاق وأهله، وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك، وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملناه وما قصرنا عنه فبلغنا. اللهم المم به شعثنا واشحب به صدعنا وارتق به فتقنا وكثر به قلتنا وأعزز به ذلتنا وأغن به عائلنا واقض به عن مغرمنا واجبر به فقرنا وسد به خلتنا ويسر به عسرنا وبيض به وجوهنا وفك به أسرنا وأنجح به طلبتنا وأنجز به مواعيدنا واستجب به دعوتنا وأعطنا به سؤلنا وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة آمالنا وأعطنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسؤولين وأوسع المعطين. اشف به صدورنا وأذهب به غيظ قلوبنا واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك، إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إله الحق. آمين آمين رب العالمين. الله اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله، وغيبة ولينا، وكثرة عدونا، وقلة عددنا، وشدة الفتن بنا، وتظاهر الزمان علينا. وصل على محمد وآله، وأعنا على ذلك بفتح منك تعجله، وبضر تكشفه، ونصر تعزه، وسلطان حق تظهره، ورحمة منك تجللناها، وعافية منك تلبسناها، برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم إني أسألك أن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر من الأمر المحكوم في الأمر الحكيم، من القضاء الذي لا يرد ولا يبدل، أن تكتبنا من حجاج بيتك الحرام في عامنا هذا وفي كل عام، المغفور ذنبهم والمكفر عن سيئاتهم، وأن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر أن تطيل في أعمالنا في خير وعافية، وتوسع علينا في أرزاقنا، وتجعلنا ممن تنتصر به لدينك ولا تستبدل به غيرنا. نعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينقضي عني شهر رمضان، أو يطلع الفجر من ليلتي هذه ولك قبلي تبعة أو ذنب تعذبني عليه يوم ألقاك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. وصل اللهم على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين.
أحسنتم دكتور. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you very much, Doctor. May Allah protect you and protect your family. Great job. We really enjoyed your recitation. Again, I would like to welcome everybody tonight and thank all of you for keeping these lights on all the time in this mosque. With your support, with your presence, may Allah protect you and shower with His blessings and grace, inshallah. Tonight, dinner was, or iftar was sponsored by a couple, very honorable family. One of them, she just said that, to pray for her son. Anonymous individual, didn't want their name to be mentioned. And another family, the family of Dr. Muhammadi. I know he's not with us tonight. Is one of our greatest community members for many years here. May Allah protect him and his family members. خانم درودیان. For these people that I just mentioned their names right now, let's all pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sincerely and humbly to protect them, to bestow them with all His blessings. And if they have anyone who is not feeling well in the family, we ask Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save them, as well as to, if they have any illnesses, to heal them as soon as possible, inshallah. In this very beautiful and very holy night, we ask Almighty Allah to protect them and protect their family members and their relatives. So for these people, as well as your loved ones who passed away, let's recite a Surah Al-Fatiha preceded by a last salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata alladhina an'amta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Sadaqallahu al-aliyyim. Many of you asked when is going to be the Layal al-Qadr. Our first one is going to be coming Sunday night. The one after that, Tuesday night. And the one after that is going to be Thursday night. So please mark your calendars for that. And we are going to be here for those nights, except the first night we will probably end at 1 o'clock. The other ones, we're going to be here till Fajr prayers, inshallah. So we'd like to invite all of you to join us for those the holiest nights of the year. Those are the holiest nights of the year. We all, inshallah, are going to be here. We are, because we always have a great amount of people coming here, we're going to open the doors, and we have some room for us. Those of you who would like to sit in the colder air, inshallah, you can sit outside. We'll try to bring some chairs as well for you to be sitting down and in the utmost comfort. If you please, on your way out, take one of these handouts or one of these flyers with you. This is the Eid al-Fitr picnic that we annually do, that all pretty much Shia centers in this Southern California, they get together. So it's a very nice, interesting gathering. So please, on your way out, it's going to be on June 24th. On your way out, get one of these, please, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. And there is another program for the youth, or they call it youth gathering here, Saturday, June 9th. They put a limitation for the age. They say 16 and up. I don't know, I don't want to interrupt, or I don't want to interfere with their business. So if you're 16 and up and you would like to join them, or if you want to bring your children, I definitely would send my children for this gathering, because we need these gatherings. It gives them strength. It gives them, to strengthen their identity, as well as the gathering like that. It gives them a great amount of confidence in themselves, and plus they're going to learn. It is going to start from 11 o'clock, because we finish here by 10:30. So we'll give them some room for us to leave, or whoever wants to stay, they can stay with them. And they have two speakers they invited. We are hoping that, inshallah, our Sayyid, the Imam of the center, to be with them as well, provided that he feels better, inshallah. We'll pray for him. We're a little bit pushed. I think we can bring him here again. Just all your prayers is going to be very important for this cause. And definitely our two other honorable members of the core community are going to be with them and talking to them. Mr. Yasai, Haji Yasai is going to be with them, as well as Dr. Taghi. Also, they're going to be with them. So they have three great speakers. I would really encourage my children to come, and definitely they will come, inshallah. And I would love to see your children to join them. I guess, is there anything I need to say? This is about it? Because every time I come down, you tell me, oh, you forgot this. So I want to make sure you got it. Okay. All right. So thank you very much, dear brothers and sisters. We'll see you again, inshallah. We'll enjoy the speech of our dear Imam. Please recite Allah salawat.
Hey, assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, we thought we'd increase the blessings today by having a precursor to our beloved Imam. We figured if the Imam went first and then we had the youth go, it would be a hard act to follow. But this next speaker is amazing in every way. She was actually one of my students at the school here on Saturdays, and I'm very proud of her. MashaAllah, she's amazing, smart, intelligent, pious, from one of the most noble families in the community. I can't say enough good things about Medina Haydari. If you could introduce her to the podium with a loud salawat.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. I would like to congratulate everyone during this holy month of Ramadan, and may Allah accept all of our prayers and fasting, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of God, the most merciful, the most compassionate. So when I first got invited to speak tonight, I really didn't know what to talk about, but then I thought to myself, since it's Ramadan, why don't I just talk about what Ramadan means to me? When I started to fast at the age of 9, I really thought Ramadan was just all about food. But this year something changed. I realized that it's not just all about food, but it means something greater. I feel like this year my connection to Allah has gotten stronger. Going to masjid this year and listening to the speeches has really shaped my perspective of what Ramadan really means. It has made me realize that Ramadan means closeness to God. It means taking control of your desires, giving your body and stomach a break from eating, actually feeling the pain of people who do not have food, becoming more grateful for the blessings Allah has given us, becoming more compassionate towards people who are less fortunate, learning how to be content with less, becoming closer to our families when sitting at the dinner table each night. Ramadan means unity among Muslims. Walking past another Muslim, you feel the hunger they feel too, and you exchange a salam with them feeling connected. Ramadan is a month of compassion towards other people who are less fortunate than us. Ramadan is a month full of blessings and opportunities to become closer to Him. It's a month everyone is running towards Him. It's a month to strengthen our iman. It's a month of prayers and du'as. It's a month where Allah has opened the doors of mercy for us. A month shaitan is locked up and we are given the opportunity to more freely worship Him with less temptations around us. It's a month where Allah accepts our du'as more. A month where your soul and spirit feel like it's floating in the air for your love for Allah. A month we use to build our akhirah and our final home. A month to purify ourselves and ask Allah for forgiveness. A month where everyone is thirsty and hungry, not for food, but for Allah. Ramadan is a gift from Allah to us so that we have the opportunity to one day dwell in Jannah with the Almighty. Thank you, and may Allah bless you all.
Thank you, Medina. That was great. Thank you so much. I know you might wonder why we don't have more of the youth talking to us. It's just majority of them have finals right now. Those who are in college, they have finals. Those who are in high school, they're busy with studying, and we want them to sit home and study for right now until inshallah they finish and they come. Before I invite the Sayyid, I wanted to mention one thing. We have a couple nights or more free so far. We don't have any sponsor for it. If you would like to share any part of it, please see me or our dear Imam or Mr. Mujtaba to inshallah register you for one of those nights. Thank you very much. Please invite the Sayyid to the podium with a loud salawat.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Listening to those amazing speakers tonight, last night, the previous night, it makes me think of my early retirement, my friends. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على أنبياء الله جميعا وعلى سيدهم وخاتمهم حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وأصحابه المنتجبين ومن تبعهم بإحسان وإيمان إلى يوم الدين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإن امرأة خافت من بعلها نشوزا أو إعراضا فلا جناح عليهما أن يصلح بينهما صلحا والصلح خير. صدق الله العلي العظيم. One of the sad realities in our society today is an issue called divorce and separation in some families. We have to address this issue. We have to speak about it and say, what does the Quran say about it? And find some solutions. Last year I had a full lecture here, Ramadan 1438, on this podium, about the causes of divorce. What causes divorce? What precipitates divorce? I mentioned a few elements. Among them was incompatibility between the husband and the wife from the beginning. There was incompatibility. Maybe their color is the same, their culture is the same, their language is the same, but their ideas were not the same. Their goals were not the same. Their aspirations in this life was not the same. So it's very hard to bring two people together under one roof if they don't share the same goals, if they don't share the same perception about this life, why they are here, what is their duty, what is their responsibility. It's very hard. So this is one reason. The other reason is that young generation, when they get to know each other for the purpose of marriage, unfortunately they don't discuss their future life. They discuss wedding, but they don't discuss marriage. Sometimes they speak about the details of their wedding. How many people we're going to invite, where it is going to be, what is the dress, what is the gown, what is the food that we are serving, the flowers that we're going to have, the honeymoon that we're going to go to. They discuss these small details about the wedding, but they don't discuss about marriage itself. What is my responsibility as a husband? How can I be committed to my family, to my wife, to my children for the rest of my life? Or what is her responsibility as a mother? They don't discuss this. They take it lightly. Therefore, once they get married and they don't have roadmap, they don't look at their roadmap, they get in troubles. And the disagreements begins to creep into their life. Another reason of marriage disintegration is the absence of healthy conversation and healthy dialogue. I always say that one of the major differentiation between humans and animals is that humans have been endowed with reason, with aql. So their speech is not just words. These are not just words, because some animals, they have words. They can produce words, but they don't understand their meaning. Our speech is an intelligent speech. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه what? Al-bayan. Bayan is an intelligent speech. When you speak with people, you have to incorporate intelligence, your reason, your aql, your knowledge. So when this intelligence speech is missing and it becomes only emotional, they try to put each other's down. They try to demean each other. They try to win this argument. He wants to win over her and she wants to win over him. So the absence of healthy dialogue and conversation is one of the major reasons for divorce. Because nice talks is missing. There is always tension. Always. The moment they get together, there is tension. Nobody thinks that I have to keep this institution. Even if my partner is wrong, I should not correct his wrong or her wrong with another wrong. The wrong is not corrected with another wrong. The wrong should be corrected by something right, something healthy, something productive, something wise. So these are, and many others, of course, they contribute. Nowadays, materialism plays a role. Some people say, why 50 years ago, 70 years ago, we never heard of divorce in our family, in our town, in our village. But now, divorce is very rampant. One reason is materialism. 50 years ago, you never talked to any lady other than your honorable wife. The only lady you saw is your wife. Nowadays, you talk more to others than your wife. You speak more with other women outside, in your office, in your school, in your hospital, more than you do with your wife. So this is another reason, definitely. This is another reason. So now, if you want to know more about the causes of divorce, it's online. The lecture last year, I think it was in the 6th or 7th of Ramadan last year, 1438 Hijri. Now, I mentioned something last night here, that sometimes when divorce takes place, and this is the theme of tonight, the theme is not about divorce, the theme is about post-divorce. When divorce takes place, sometimes some husbands are reluctant to grant their wives the religious divorce. Even though they go to court and they file for legal divorce, and the legal divorce is over, is finalized after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, but some husbands, they are reluctant to grant their wives the religious divorce. They use this, the religious divorce, they use it against her, to humiliate her, to, as they say, to give her a lesson, difficult, tough lesson. So they refuse. Though he has no relationship with her anymore. Maybe he goes and he remarries someone else. But he refuses to give his ex-wife the religious divorce to deprive her from remarrying. And this is what the Quran says, فَلَا تَذَرُوهَا كَالْمُعَلَّقَةِ. Don't leave her hanging in the air. She doesn't know whether she's married or she's divorced. She doesn't know about her faith. Don't do that. And this happens. This happens. I am witness to this. I receive calls from many women who are divorced, and she says, my husband he doesn't want to speak about this. We've been separated for 7 years. In some cases, 10 years. And he doesn't want to respond to me. He doesn't even answer my calls. And I need to know my future. I need to know my fate. I can't remarry. Some of them says, not because I want to remarry. I want to get my freedom. My freedom, my dignity. I don't want to be connected to him for the rest of my life. And she's right. She's right. When legal divorce is done, it has to be followed by religious divorce in the same day, in the same hour. There should be no delay in that. So what do we do with this? Let me tell you. The legal system that we have in Islam, it needs to be updated. It's an outdated system. The system of divorce that we have in Islam, it works for villages of 200 years ago, not America or Europe or advanced human societies. It's not working anymore. So they go to the mosque and they say to the imam, the sheikh, the sayyid, the maulana, please, I have a problem. The answer of the imam is, where is your ex-husband? I don't know, where is he? Or he's there, but he doesn't want to come. He doesn't want to help me in this. The imam is going to say, I can't do anything to you. Sorry. I have no legal power. Because as marriage requires both sides to be present, divorce also requires both sides, both parties, to be present. It has to be mutual. If it is not mutual, then it is too complicated. And sometimes they tell them, send your case to this country and that country, to this marja and that marja. And the case goes there and you never hears about it. It's gone forever. And this is not good. This is not healthy. So what should we do? And in this case, when a lady, she does not get her freedom from her ex-husband who did so much pain to her, she's going to suffer more psychologically, socially, financially. Her case is going to deteriorate. Now, let me say something about women, and then I'm going to turn against men soon. So bear with me, sisters. In some cases, when a lady comes and she claims, I don't know about the whereabouts of my ex, she's not telling us the truth. She knows about his whereabouts, but because she doesn't want to talk to him. And I discover in certain cases that she did not even try to speak to him in the first place. She didn't try to approach him. She did not try to even call him and tell him, hey, I want you to get me the religious divorce. She never. Because of stubbornness, because of sometimes arrogance, because the relationship with him was very sore, so she doesn't want to see his face anymore. In that case, we cannot help. In that case, I tell them, if you need to get your religious divorce, it's important for you, you have to give some concessions. You have to call him and tell him to give us permission to get your divorce done. But then, in other or in certain cases, this is another scenario, and bear with me, please. Please bear with me. I'll be just to both sides. I'll try to be just. In some cases, few cases I should say, we find out later on, of course, when we investigate, that the wife took 50% of her ex-husband's property or estate. Sometimes she takes his house from him, his cash money from him, his business away from him, and she takes the kids away from him, and now she says, give me divorce. Give me religious divorce because I don't like your face. Or sometimes she has another relationship. While she was still married to him, she develops another relationship with someone else for a few months, sometimes a few years, and she wants to strip her husband from all his money, and then she wants him to say, yes, yes, lady, I am going to give you my money, I'm going to give you your divorce, and I am your slave. That does not happen. This is, of course, in a few cases, not with all women, with certain nationalities. I'm not going to mention them for the sake of month of Ramadan. Now we come when the husband is an aggressor and the wife is a victim. One case, or many cases, I find out that the husband says to his wife, I don't even believe in God. I don't believe in Islam. I don't believe in religious divorce. Get lost. I'm not going to come to the mosque because I'm not a Muslim. We did the American divorce and that's it. So I don't believe in the religious divorce. So when we find out that he has a problem not with his wife, with God and with the whole community and whole religion, then definitely we're going to grant her divorce. Of course, it takes time to investigate these cases. It takes time because you need to listen to both sides. You need to listen to both sides. I said many times that one thing I really learned here from my experience, that I would never judge or issue my opinion over anything unless I listen to both parties. It's very important to listen to both parties. I can't even comment on any problem, on any issue, on any divorce, unless I listen to the husband and the wife. This is a lesson that I learned while serving Islam. You must hear both sides. And then you would be able to judge after that. And sometimes you need to listen to witnesses from both sides too. So this is one case. The husband does not believe in religious divorce. In that case, we're going to grant her religious divorce immediately, even if the husband does not like it. Okay? In other cases, the husband is religious. He upholds his religious duties. He comes to the mosque, he prays, he fasts, he does this, he does that. But he wants to punish his wife. It's a sense of revenge. He wants to put her down. Why? Because she's divorcing him. If we realize that this is the case, He's not interested in going back to her, no, because he's already remarried. And sometimes he has children from his second marriage. But he wants to punish his wife as a punishment. He wants her to suffer. He enjoys seeing his ex-wife suffering. Again, in this case, we will grant her divorce even if he rejects that. We grant her divorce. We get a permission from Al-Hakim al-Shar'i. Marji' al-Taqleed, because this is based on aggression, dhulm, injustice, and God does not love injustice. God says when you find someone is mazloom, being wronged, you have to help him, you have to help her. So in this case, definitely we're going to grant her divorce. You know, in some cases I found out that the wife left everything for her husband, everything. She didn't get any penny. She left the house only with her clothing. She didn't take no money, nothing. Even her dowry, he didn't give her dowry, her mahr. He didn't give it to her. She walks out of the house barefoot, and still he doesn't want to give her divorce. This is barbarism. This is savagery. This is immorality. This is aggression. This is injustice. And we don't tolerate injustice. We should not tolerate injustice. This is why I tell my friends, the imams, the maulanas, the leaders of Islamic society, when you find out that there is aggression, there is hatred, then you have to grant them divorce. Don't wait for a phone call to come from you from this or that. God has given you reason. Reason, aql. Incorporate your reason. Incorporate your conscience. Try to help. Try to help. God does not like violation. He doesn't like. Listen to what the Quran says about this case, where the husband is reluctant to give his wife divorce because he wants to punish her. What does he say? In Surah Al-Talaq, we have a whole chapter in the Quran, chapter 65. It's called At-Talaq, divorce. But subhanallah, this chapter that speaks about divorce, if you examine it, go back tonight home and read this chapter, it's full of optimism. It is full of hope. It is full of encouragement. Speaks about tawakkul, put your trust in God. Put your faith in God. God is going to help you. God is going, وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ. God is going to get you out of this problem. It's full of hope, this chapter 65. Some people call it the chapter of optimism. They change divorce into optimism and faith in God. Check it out tonight when you go home. Chapter 65, Surah Al-Talaq, full of hope, full of encouragement from God. So in this chapter, God says, فَإِذَا بَلَغْنَا أَجَلَهُنْ. When divorce is done, let's say divorce is done today, God forbids. Inshallah, you stay with your wives from now until the day of judgment, inshallah, and past the day of judgment into paradise, inshallah. You are stuck with them even in the next life, inshallah. So, one of the speakers says, one day I was saying on the minbar that those good mu'mineen people in this life, God is going to gather them with their wives in the akhirah. He says, one man, he stood and he left. So I saw him the following day in the market. I said, why did you leave? He said, Sayyid, it's not enough here in this life, 50 years. You want me to be with her? So Allah says, فَإِذَا بَلَغْنَا أَجَلَهُنْ. When divorce is done, there is a waiting period. عِدَّة. 3 cycles. 3 menstrual cycles. So if the divorce is done today, they wait for the first cycle, second cycle. By the time they see the blood of the 3rd cycle, divorce is finalized. Before that, they can go back to each other without aqd, without a new marriage, without a new nikah. Automatically, if he says to her, I'm interested in coming back to you, they can go back to each other. But if the third cycle appears and they did not go back, then if they want to go back, they have to do new nikah, new marriage ceremony, new nikah. So this waiting period is for what? For them to think. Maybe because it was a moment of anger, a moment of, whatever. Shaitan comes in and destroys their life. So they have enough time to reflect on their future, especially when kids are involved. Sometimes the divorce, there are no kids. They go on their ways, different ways. But when they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in one case I told you that the guy was here the other night, they have 7 kids. 7 kids. This is a kindergarten, And they want to get divorced in this country. So Allah says, wait, reflect, don't be selfish. You are responsible. Don't destroy the life of entire generation. I am going to hold you accountable tomorrow. I'm going to charge you. I'm going to punish you. So be careful. So Islam gives time for both of them to reflect. So Allah says, فَإِذَا بَلَغْنَا أَجَلَهُنْ فَأَمْسِكُوهُنَّ بِمَعْرُوفٍ. Either take them back honorably, بِمَعْرُوفٍ. Not violently, not going back to the same old story, always rift, always arguments, always fightings, always, No. بِمَعْرُوفٍ. Restore your life again in an honorable way. Oh, if no, you decide we are not for each other. We can't. أو فارقوهن بمعروف. فأمسكوهن. Either hold them back, bring them back into marriage, or separate from them. Again, look at the Quran. Even if there is divorce or separation, it has to be how? بمعروف. Honorably. In a nice way. Because she's a human being. One day she was your wife. One day she was your sweetheart. She was your girlfriend. You loved her. Remember the good times you shared with each other. And now you have kids. Both of you. You share those kids. You still need to see her. Because of your kids, you still need to be friends. Even if marriage ends, friendship should not end. Respect should not end. فَأَمْسِكُوهُنَّ بِمَعْرُوفٍ أَوْ فَارِقُوهُنَّ بِمَعْرُوفٍ. أو فارقوهن. صرحوهن, another verse. In Surah Al-Talaq, فارقوهن. So, Islam says, be human, even at the time of disagreement with your partner. Leave room for negotiation. Leave room for friendship. Leave room for a humanity. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring peace to our life and our families, inshallah. Especially during this month, the month of Ramadan. We need to be more peaceful, not just with God. See, when we hear these beautiful du'as, du'a al-iftitah, du'a after tomorrow, inshallah, on Sunday, we begin du'a Abi Hamza al-Thamal, du'a Jawshan al-Kabir. Beautiful words with God. Beautiful, romantic. These are romantic chattings and discourse with God. So if you want to establish peace with God, you definitely need to establish peace with yourself and your wife and your family and your children. We need this peace. Nothing is more beautiful than a house being built on piety, on righteousness, ala taqwa. When the husband, he fears God, the wife, she fears God. They work for their akhirah. They work for the betterment of their families and their children. They have no grudge in their heart. They have no animosity. Even if they don't get along, they decide, we don't get along. So let's part from each other in a civil way, in an Islamic way, in a moral way. Inshallah, we see strong families, especially with the young generation. Those who are still not married, they listen to these lectures, they reflect upon them, inshallah, to build healthy, strong, productive families. Allahumma aghfir lil mu'minina wal mu'minat wal muslimina wal muslimat الأحياء منهم والأموات، تابع اللهم بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات. تقبل صلاتنا وصيامنا ودعاءنا وطاعتنا في هذا الشهر العظيم، ووفقنا للعبادة وللتوبة في ليالي القدر يا أرحم الراحمين، وعجل في فرج سيدنا ومولانا صاحب العصر والزمان وإله أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات والشهداء. ثواب الفاتحة مع الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.